How many of you have ever worked with an angel investor? Couple. Perfect. So, give you a little short history. Westcliff brought on board an amazing individual to lead our entrepreneurship program. And you're going to get to talk to him and see him tomorrow morning. Dr. Barry Sandrew, including an innovation hub, an incubator, companies growing their business here on campus, and much more. Barry is also part of Tech Coast Angels Orange County. They're better known as TCA-OC. They are a not-for-profit organization. And they are among the top 5 angel investing groups in the country. Barry reached out to me, identified who and what they were, and wondered what my thoughts were about working with them. I came to one of their pitch sessions, met David Friedman, who was past president and is now the Tech Coast Angel chair. And 30 minutes later, the partnership in the classroom and in the curriculum happened. They meet in a hybrid format. You can see they're right here in the same room. You see angels coming in via Zoom. Investors can be here in person or come in via Zoom. Guests are allowed, and there's probably be a common theme because NDAs are also required for this session as well. Each pitch session starts with some knowledge, training for the angels themselves, and then you have the pitches. So you have 12-minute pitch for each investor, and then 12 minutes of Q&A. It's not like the Q&A you see in Shark Tank or Dragon's Den. It's much better because they dial down to the numbers. There is a presentation format that the entrepreneurs must use, including all the financials. And again, that's why the NDA, because guests and students can see all that. It's like Shark Tank and Dragon's Den, but better. There's no kitschy music, no television drama or anything like that. The best part happens after all the pitches have been made. Pitch, Q&A, so on. They take a break, and then they come back and have a no-holds-barred conversation. And dial down. And that is often one of the most valuable parts of the entire experience. And the students are blown away by it. Because it's a side of investing and pitching that they've never seen before. And they have access to everything. So we piloted this in our BBA entrepreneurship program. We try to have an entrepreneurial mindset for not only the class, but the curriculum. So I ran a pilot side by side with another faculty member who was teaching the standard entrepreneurship course. Students attended that first pitch session. They wrote their first assignment about it, including not only the process of an NDA and how that was for them, because it was usually their first experience, but a general overview. So they had to look at it as an investor. What went right, what could have been done better, and if they had the money, would they invest and why? So we put them in the investor seat. The next class meeting, there was usually a debrief. We talked about it. students can see it live, either by Zoom or coming in person, or they can watch a recording. We have access to the recordings. And it's spread through more than just this one class. So we did pilot, as I said, and in this class, the students work in groups, much like the prior presentation. But they actually take defined roles. They create a company for themselves, and they take real-life roles of CFO, CEO, CMO, CTO, CIO, EIEIO. Old MacDonald comes in handy every now and then. At the end of the course, they pitch their created company, not only to the professor, but to Tech Coast Angel Orange County investors as a simulated pitch session. If I'm not teaching the course, I also am part of the crew that they pitch to. So their role defines what they pitch. The CMO pitches the marketing information. The CFO pitches the finance information. And they have to use the same slide deck that the entrepreneurs do for Tech Coast Angels. So it is very real and very real life. We give them the opportunity in week 6 of the 8-week class to submit a draft to the professor so that they get feedback to spiff it up, make it really great so that it's the best possible product in week 8. David and Barry joined me in that class. They get investor type feedback just the way they would if they had pitched to TCA. And they also get academic feedback on it as well. So after the success of the pilot, the course was changed to reflect what we did. There is no more 2 strings. It's all one. And as part of the Innovation Hub, we have a video that was produced featuring David Friedman called The Perfect Pitch. And it is now part of the curriculum. Students have to watch that. Then they write questions as part of an assignment. And then David Friedman comes into the class, and so does Barry, the next week and answers every one of those questions. So the questions can be about business in general or the company that they are creating for the course. And David will talk to them for 3 hours. They get everything he has to give, same with Barry. And it becomes this just incredible how-to. And no question is too much. And into it because it's directly one-on-one to these people. We're also incorporating into the curriculum Gale Business Plan Builder, which is part of our digital library. And it starts from the very first course. The entire program has an entrepreneurial mindset. They build this from the first day of their first class all the way to the last day of their last class. Teaching and incorporating entrepreneurship mindset throughout the curriculum of the entire degree. I just want to share with you some of the students' feedback from going through this experience. I'm not going to read each one because you can read much faster than I can talk. But I will point out a couple, such as preparation. And if you think about 18 to 20-year-old undergraduate students who had everything handed to them in their last educational experience, they are now seeing and becoming more prepared for what is required when they graduate. The level of intensity, the teamwork required. It's not, hey, we just show up and wing it. Because David, Barry, and myself will ask them point-blank questions just to make sure they are as prepared as they're supposed to be. And it's not just a bunch of words on a slide. The visuals are quite important. And we go into patents, trademarks, IP protection. Because every pitch session has long conversations about that, because that's part of the value of the company. And the skill that's required to ask deep questions, not surface level questions that you get in high school. They're forced to become critical and deep thinkers throughout this process. And storytelling. Most people would rather die than speak in public. But they learn they have to if they want to be successful. And answering questions. It's not just, hey, here we are, thank you, bye, run away. We have to stand in the limelight and let people buzz you with questions. How do you value a company? How often is that taught? What are the benchmarks for that? They have to go through that process. They have to learn what it is. We've all heard the stories about startups. How hard, how easy. They experience it in a very highly condensed 8 weeks. But starting in January, they're actually going to have that process throughout their entire undergraduate program. So they're going to get into it even deeper. Every semester, we follow the best practices of the Baldrige method and think, okay, what can we improve? But definitely, if you want to attend one of the pitch sessions, just come see me. I'll give you my card, send me the email. I will send you the link to the NDA. Yes?
Many times, students will have an idea of starting up their own business and so on. But after they take this course, how many of them realize that, maybe that's not for me? Sometimes an internship or something like that, where you realize that that's not something I want to do. That's some of the most successful situations.
And Tech Coast Angels has actually agreed that if there is a project, they will fund it. So students know they have an opportunity. And they will be worked with, and they can actually work with the SMART program, which is MBA and DBA students, to get it even further along and ready for that pitch. So it really is integrated throughout the entire university. Guys were easy on me. Thank you very much.